Hey, welcome everybody to another fun-filled episode of iNewz. I'm going to apologize in advance because I've been suffering from a head cold for the whole entire weekend, and I still have the rare sniffle and cough that shows up because it's like lingering, and I don't know what to do with it. But anyways, so if I cough in anybody's ears or if I sniffle, please forgive me. I don't mean to. I will try to mute whenever possible. So we are without our Wolfie today because he had an appointment today that he had to go take care of. So we are without him, but we have the sleeping tuna kitty in his place who will not be co-hosting, but he looks adorable laying there and sleeping. So big round of applause for the sleeping tuna kitty bandit who wants world domination. Yay! Of course, I also threatened him and told him to lay there, but that's besides it. Yeah, exactly. He's keeping Wolfie's seat nice and warm. I don't have any announcements, so that's really really cool. That's the good news on things. Oh, I'm sorry, I do. So to any of our Plus stipend users, I put a post up on the forums. As you know, last month, because Authorize, who does all of our Plus payments, they changed their security protocols on their SSH. So we lost we didn't lose payments, they just nothing got processed. So what we did last month in the hundreds of payments that we had, we went ahead and we reinstituted all of our parcel owners so that they wouldn't lose their parcels. I spent a couple days making sure that everybody was in the database, making sure that they had the right parcels, making sure that everything was claimed and everything was good. So all of those people are all good and they're happy. Now, for the stipend users, we literally had so many of them that I could not match up who was who versus your credit card versus who you were in World. So we are more than happy to get you guys back on the right track without having to redo your membership. All you gotta do is get a hold of us, put in a support ticket, email me, that's fine too. I just need the last name on the credit card so I can link it to your avatar. I can put you back in the database, and on July 1st, everything will run. And in the meantime, I will let Mai know to forward your stipend over to you so that you have it. So stipend users, if you haven't gotten your stipend, please send us an email. You don't have to do anything. Just send us the last name on the card, and I will match everything up accordingly. So please make sure you send that in because we're more than happy to do that for you. Not our fault, not your fault, but we're going to fix it and make it all right. And then on July 1st, everything should run back to normal because we released the scripts again on the 3rd after we made sure everybody was happy and running. So please make sure that you do that. We couldn't run the scripts prior to because if we did, the parcel owners would have lost their parcels again. So we really wanted to make sure that nobody lost anything because that's really a pain to have to take care of. Today, I told you last month that we were going to have our lovely special guest, Yadni Monde. Now, if you remember him, he's the big blue guy sitting to my side here, blinky blue guy. And a lot of you probably remember him from Second Life. It's definitely where I got to know Yadni first. I mean, I didn't actually know him in Second Life, but I learned a lot from him because I went to his region and I hung out there a lot and I learned lots and lots of things from him. So it was really cool when I was sitting there one day on IDI and in comes Yadni, and he's been like a fast friend ever since. So like I've known Yadni for like 10 years. And I'm just gonna stop talking, let him say hi with his lovely friend Jackson, and say hi to everybody. So say hi and welcome Yadni, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Everybody, of course, everybody. And notice that this is like one of the coolest outfits I have ever seen. He also did, was it the bunny or was it the skeleton that you did, Yad, for our starter avatars?
It was the skeleton.
That's right, the skeleton, which is really super cool. Um, Also, in front of me on the table here, if you look, this used to sit on IDI, the old IDI that we had. If you'll remember correctly, I had a little table where I would sit and I would do things at, and I would work and I would talk to people and all that good stuff. Well, on my little table there, I had all sorts of things that people had given me. And all those things are in my house on my region. So this morning I logged in real quick like a bunny and I went and I grabbed all of these. These are all of his little minis that he made for me that used to sit on my table. And we used to have a joke because that we were always eating cookies and stuff. And so he made me the plate of cookies and I put a script in it saying, "You cannot have my cookies, don't touch." Um,
Yeah.
And so in front of me here we have, well, we have Yadni in the back here who's building. No, actually that's Zabur. He did Zabur. That's Zabur that's building. See the little prim with the dragon wings. And then we have Sai, who was notorious for trying to steal my cookies, which is why the script went in. And then we have Bladex. Bladex, I don't know how many people will remember him. He was a mentor and a real life architect and all that. He also did a lot of RPG for pirating, both in real life and in the grid itself. These days, him and his lovely wife Ruby, who I'm actually friends with, both of them in real life, they're doing a bunch of their arts and crafts shows. When she makes a lot of jewelry and she does tarot readings and all that, and Blad does all of his piratey stuff that he does, and also all his jousting, and he does a lot of medieval RP as well. And then back behind him, we have our lovely senior mentor, Honey Chicken, the Aussie, who I hardly ever get to see, but there she is. I have her little physical representation right there. So if ever I get lonely and I need some honey chicken, I just got to go look on my shelf, or well, right now on my table. So these are the little minis that he made for me. How long did these take you to make? Because they sort of like just all sort of showed up at once on my table. I remember that.
Well, the thing is, it took me quite a bit of time each time, because those are very tiny, and I used to work them the size you see them. So it's really tiny prims, all put together with the maximum zoom. And I don't know, maybe 1 day or two per character maximum.
They're really cool. I love the smiles and whatnot. And I love Blad's outfit. It's just absolutely awesome. All the little shiny gold buttons and everything. Um, so yeah, those were really cool. So yeah, and he was really surprised. He came in today and he's like, "Oh, you have my little minis." And I said, "Don't you think I actually threw them away? I would never throw them away. They were so cute." I have a few others too, and then I have some from Vinhold, and I have a few others that are sitting up all on my shelves or on my fireplace. Um, so this is one of the first things that Yad ever did. So then the next thing that Yad did is we had a customer who came in, and Yad was working with them. It was Boston Light, and we were helping them develop their own grid for doing some things with the masons and whatnot. So Yadni was working with them. But one of his builds and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you had it in SL as well, was his Mont Saint Michel build. And if I just slaughtered that, please forgive me. French is not my native language.
You got it right. It's that, Mont Saint Michel.
Okay, so it is a 2-sim build, completely out of prims. It is absolutely fantastic. And we had it on our grid for quite a while, and then the DMLA group sort of fell apart. So we ended up taking the sims down, obviously. But Yadni, in recent, I think it was like 6 months ago, got a hold of me and said, Ellie, you're my friend, and I love you to pieces. So I want you to have Mont Saint Michel, since I'm no longer in the virtual worlds. So I was supposed to put it up this morning because I didn't want it to be out there before we actually had Yadni on, but we had a little bit of a network issue this morning. So I'm gonna get it up either tonight or first thing in the morning, and it will be on display. It's given to us much like we have some other sims that we've put up, like when we had Wizzy's Adam and things like that. So his Mont Saint Michel will be up and available for people to wander through and see it. And obviously Bensky is going to put some video in here so you all can see it as well. And I'll definitely put a link to where it's going to be in the video URL as well, so you can actually go wander. It's beautiful, it's huge, it's 2 sims, it's gorgeous. And I'm going to let Yadni talk about it because it was his project and what all he went through to bring this beautiful build that we're going to have right here in InWorlds.
It was basically a project, so yeah, that we had with the Kingdom of Dimolay, and it took me around a year to complete it, because it's an absolute precise reproduction of the real Mont Saint Michel here in France. And hopefully, which is good, I live not too far from it. So I took 2 trips there to go make pictures to serve me as documentation, because I always love to have good documentation. And when it's that close, I go shoot myself what I need. So I went there a first time, did a whole bunch of pictures, and I started building it. You know, blocking the shapes of the buildings on my little map I had found there also. And then I discovered that I had dark areas, so I had to go back another time to make pictures of the zones that I had forgotten to get, because the Mont Saint-Michel is so intricate. It's just 10 centuries of architecture put on top of another. So it's just crazy. You go from the early Middle Ages, which you can see by the styles, it's a Roman style, to Louis XIV, Louis XIV style. So it's really crazy. And nowadays they just built a new bridge, which is modern. And so it really links the Mont Saint-Michel to 10 centuries of architecture. And it's just a pure piece of beauty, one of the marvels of the modern world. And I love it with my heart. So this baby took me 1 year. It's, as you said, 2 sims. It's approximately for 40,000 prims approximately. I had done even the little statues and sculptures in prims. I have every beam of wood on each house. You have the inside, you have the outside. You can do the visit inside the monument on top, and you will discover everything that you could discover if you come to visit it for reals in France. It's all there. And even the texture, I made them from photos I did of the walls, of the roofs. So everything is as accurate as possible, and it's only prims. It's my masterpiece ever in prims. It was just my most fantastic work with prims. I loved prims. Oh my God.
Well, okay, you're not just prims, but yeah, Mont Saint Michel is. I've been through it. It can take you. I mean, even just even in the virtual, it can take you close to an hour really to just explore and catch all the little details. It is absolutely amazing. It's just a fantastic, fantastic build, and it's going to be in InWorlds. I'm probably going to put it over on the event sims for the summer, and then we're going to find it a permanent home somewhere on the actual grid, so that people can actually have a thing. I'm sort of thinking maybe somewhere out in the Straits. It's sort of going through my head. So it's just another thing for you guys to go see while you're out boating and flying and things like that. I may have to do some shuffling around, but or maybe just put it on one of the Straits. I don't know. It's all a thing, and I'm going to figure it out. But for right now, it'll definitely be on the event sims, since most of them are cleared off now, except for the Jurassic stuff. Because that's going to be there all summer. So we'll put it out there and we'll get that all going for everybody so that you guys can see it. So expect that by fall, that will definitely be out in the Straits, and we'll put a big thing out there. But then my lovely blue man, my lovely, lovely blue man, and Bensky, you can send that to me, like, privately, so I don't forget, because you know me, I have the memory of a sieve. So when I saw Mont Saint Michel, one of the big things that I wanted to do, as many of you know, is I wanted to give IDI something that was completely different than anything else that was out there in the virtual worlds. So my thinking there was to do something that had a lot of history, a lot of educational value, etc. Just really sort of showcase the cool things that you can do with the virtual world. And so I came up with the idea of doing Jackson Square, and I actually went to visit Jackson Square with my daughters. As a matter of fact, we made it a whole mom-daughter weekend, and we hung out for, I don't know, what was it? Yeah, like 4 days I was there taking pictures for you. We took lots of pictures, wandered around, did everything, and I asked Yad to build me a 2-scale replica of Jackson Square. That is why Jackson Square is sitting on IDI. And honestly, it is, and I know a lot of people complain because you can't get into the shops and things like that, and that's cool. I get that. But as far as bringing a fully mesh build to IDI and really building it up, I say Yadni did beautiful work, especially when you look at the wrought iron and all that. Although you should have heard the swearing that went on in my Skype in private. But I'm going to let Yadni talk about that, because that's one of it's just such a beautiful build, and I love what he did with it. So Yadni, it's back to you, because you did That, yeah.
That was really an interesting project because, well, unfortunately, I was never able to go to the USA, which I would absolutely like to visit. I'm going to it. Oh, well, whatever. This project especially was really interesting because it had this square of nature in the middle, and then all those fabulous buildings all around, and the railings and the everything was so interesting. And you, I remember, had given me so little time to accomplish it. I remember it was
Okay, it was a quick thing, okay?
it was crazy. Like I had 20 days to pull that out of my nose. I'm not cursing.
Nice catch, nice
I'm
catch.
good, I'm good. But that was really awesome, and I really had fun making those mesh because, yeah, it took me time to get to mesh because I was really into prims for a very long time. My outfit, for example, it's only prims. The only thing that I have on me that is not prims is my hat, which is sculptee. That was my first sculptee ever. So I mastered sculptees, then I kind of mastered the mesh, and yeah, it was really an interesting project, and to do it with the lowest region impact possible with very light textures, no texture above 512 by 512.
Okay,
So
I
yeah.
was a bit exacting. I'm sorry, but you know, it was for IDI. Yeah.
No, it was really awesome. I really loved to do this. And then when I came to the little paintings, because if you visit Google Earth,
I was gonna get to your paintings. Okay,
yeah,
go ahead,
you
go ahead.
you'll notice on Google Earth that there are people exhibiting their paintings around the square. And my thing was to reproduce by hand each little painting on a little texture. Then I could apply on the various canvases that are around all the little paintings of each little guy there exhibiting his art. So you have various styles. You have people who do modern, people who do realistic. I did everything all by hand on my little iPad, and like that. That probably was the most fun part for me to reproduce all those little paintings on textures. That was crazy.
Wait, can I tell them the little piece of trivia on IDI about you and those paintings?
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
Okay, so guys, if you wander around Jackson Square and you look at the paintings on the fence, because they're all around the fence, there is one of a bald-headed gentleman who is smoking a cigarette. That would be Yadni.
Oh really? You think so?
I know that because you told
Ooh.
me.
Yeah, in fact, I did one exhibit with a few of my drawings on my iPad that I did at that time, including a self-portrait. So yeah, if you run around, you'll see one of the exhibits somewhere is all by my hands. I mean, all my personal art at that time.
I was going to get to that too, but I really wanted to tell people that your actual self-portrait was there because I've never told anybody that since even when after you told me, I never told anybody because it's always been sort of like a little piece of trivia about, you know, Jackson Square. And if anybody ever asked me, I wasn't going to tell them it was you. I'm just so weird that way, okay? But you're here.
Okay,
So
no, it's
tell
you
everybody.
know, it's there's no problem. It's just good.
Oh, it definitely is. So, so yeah, Yadi left the virtual worlds mostly because his computer can't handle it. But Bensky, that's an absolutely really cool idea, by the way. Machu Picchu, that would be really, that'd be pretty intense. Wow. But see, give Yadni like, you know, forever to build something and he'll build it. That's just the way he is. He had, I think it was like 20 or 30 days that he had to build IDI completely from pictures, Google, etc. And oh, excuse me, I have to cough.
And for example, also, yeah, when you say that you can give me stuff to build and I build it, When I started in Second Life, because that's where we all started, yeah. I remember one time when there was, it was the big golden age of Second Life, and you had those big brands coming in, and including one, just a little brand that's almost not known to anybody, called Intel. The guys who
Yeah,
make,
nobody knows them.
no,
Nobody.
no, nobody knows Intel, I think. And the thing is, then I was working with a little company there, which was millions of us. And I remember when they called me in panic because they had asked some builders around if they could build something. There was already a plan for the building, and everybody refused because they all said it was, oh no, that's impossible. You can't do that in Second Life. You can't. It's impossible. You only had prims, and that was simply not doable at all. And they came to me, they showed me the plan, and I said, wow, that is crazy. Yes, of course, I'll do it. And I did. And that
Because
was
of course
awesome.
you did. It's what you do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do think pretty much everybody got their start in Second Life. I mean, seriously, I did. You did. Yeah, if you guys ever went to Second Life, it was Yadni's Junkyard.
Yeah,
And
Yadni's junkyard. It's even in books about Second Life. You can find Yadni's junkyards in books. So wow, that's cool. I mean, when I got the book and I saw my name and my place in there, oh man, that was so cool.
yeah, so okay, so now we're on Facebook, you and I,
Yep.
and you're really involved in your artwork these days. He's doing a lot of he even did one with a Bic pen. I kid you not. He did a full sketch with a Bic pen. He was doing a contest. What was that? It was 20 drawings in 20 days, or was it less than that? I forget.
Yeah, it was 20 drawings in one day. So that was 600 pages in 1 month. But unfortunately, I've had a major setback. My computer's cooling system, which is a water cooling system, burned on me. Literally, it dripped inside and all. It was just, oh, it was a nightmare. So I had to, because since I was recording with a camera and then putting the videos inside the computer to assemble everything and put on YouTube, suddenly in the 2/3 of the contest, my computer died on me. And so I had to simply give up on the contest because I was never going to be able to do the 600.
Oh, why didn't you say something? Seriously.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. And then also I had to gather a little money because right now I'm, restarting my whole career plan, so to say, from scratch, because I'm not doing 3D anymore, but I'm trying to do arts back again, like I did before 3D and before the computer era. And so yeah, the time to gather the money from a few donators and to buy the thing, to have it sent to my home, and then to disassemble the old one, to assemble the new one, took me too long to be able to pursue on that challenge. But never mind, it was very, very interesting, and I really loved trying hard to do that, and that made me progress. I mean, I did not think I could, progress in such a short time. But in fact, the sheer amount of drawings I had to do each day made me do some significant progress. So even if I didn't do it entirely, I totally loved doing it.
well, Bensky has a couple of things. Yes, number one, we can add Yadni's YouTube channel to the video. Also, Yadni has a Patreon. I don't know if anybody is aware of that, so we should probably link his Patreon as well to it. I try to post his stuff up because during that sketchbook challenge, which is what it was called, it was really, really cool. Yadni did some really amazing things. And artists, I love watching artists in the sense of, like, you know, you have singers and you have filmmakers, et cetera, and they're all artists when you really think about it, right? So that way, Patreon is an actually, it's like, it's not like a PayPal per se, but it's like a donation system for people who do arts, for streaming, people who create things, etc. So a Patreon is like their own personal artist type of form of payment. You can pay with you know, your bank account, credit card, whatever. But Patreon is one of the big ones that came out is specifically for artists and whatnot. So it's really a nice way. A lot of streamers use it. Excuse me, got the hiccups, et cetera. So it's yeah, it's like a nice tip jar, and it's actually real life money, so that it helps them to continue to do what they like to do, and produce whatever it is that they're producing. But back to my main point. So we have filmmakers and we have songwriters, et cetera, and we have actors and we have books, authors, et cetera. They're all artists because obviously they have a creative streak that, you know, a lot of us don't have, and they're really good at what they do. But you can usually tell the same style. Like, you know, if you watch a movie that's by, like, you know, Martin Scorsese, or, you know, whoever you want to pick, you typically know their style of film production. Singer-songwriters, same thing. You'll know their style of music just because they stick to a particular style. I have found that as I've gotten older, I've really enjoyed listening to singers who are willing to push their envelopes, go into different styles of music that may not necessarily be popular with the current trends, but that's what they like to do. Like Lady Gaga, I really love a lot of her recent stuff as an independent singer. Camila Cabello, she's really, really awesome, which my daughter keeps me in the loop on all of these things. But Yadni, when I was watching his sketchbook challenges, everything was completely different. One day he'd do, you know, watercolor. One day he would do the big pen. One day he would use chart. It was just, you never knew what he was going to be using for that day. It was really, really cool. It was never the same picture twice. It was always something totally different. He's got some political satire stuff that he does. And that was my dog starting to go crazy, so I thought I'd mute my mic. He's got a lot of cool stuff that he does that's really, really just fascinating to look at and to see. So we're definitely going to link those things to the video so that you guys can go take a look, because it's always nice if you can really sort of channel that which you love to do and actually make money off of it. Because yeah, isn't that what we all wish we could do? Don't we all wish when we were 18 we were all told the sage advice of do what you love? You'll find that you'll be much happier in life later on. So, but also we all need money, right? It's just kind of the way it all goes together. So, but I wanted to have Yadni on because Yadni has been like, he's been such a major inspiration to so many people in the virtual worlds. I mean, everybody who's been around at least 7 or 8 years knows Yadni's name. They've been to his region. They've maybe learned something off of him. And who can really ignore the big blue dude that's blinky and flashy next to me? He's kind of hard to ignore, really. I mean, he shows up and there he is, and he's flashing in your face. You really can't ignore this guy. And I really wanted to just sort of cover a lot of the stuff that he's done over his years. So, okay, what else have you done that was really, really creative and exciting in virtual worlds that nobody else has or is no longer existing? There's it.
Oh, probably one of my favorite places was Paris 1900. It was a little, how many sims was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 sims. And there was the Eiffel Tower. You had the Moulin Rouge, which I had reproduced exactly as it was back in the days, with the big elephant in the yard. You had the Champs-Élysées, which is the main street of Paris, and at the bottom of the Champs-Élysées you had the Arc of Triomphe, the Arc de Triomphe, which is also one very renowned monument in Paris. With the statues, I had made the statues with prims on each side of the Arc de Triomphe. It was quite an amazing piece. So yeah, that Paris 1900 was quite a hit. And by the way, that is what made me work later on for big brands, because Paris 1900 probably was my a major starting point for being known as a builder. So then I worked with Intel, just as I said, but I also did Toyota, Nike, Warner Brothers, Alcatel, and then I also did an island which is La Réunion, Reunion Island. It's a French island in the on the east side of Africa near Madagascar, and that was for a one guy named Mini Jean, and that also was one of my favorite places because I had reproduced really the feeling of that island, which is semi-tropical, and you had the all the nice wooden houses and everything. Yeah, well, I've done, in fact, in maybe 11, 12, or something like that years, I made like 100 sims for 100 different companies or people. So I could not say all the things that I have done in just one iNewz session, but I really enjoyed my time building things and creating, you know. And the thing is, when someone is asking me to do something, what I like best is when they come, they visit the thing, and they say, "Oh man, it's even better than what I had in mind." And that is exactly the point where I'm happy with my job, because that's where I want to be. It's surprising people by giving them always more than what they had expected that was possible, and that's exactly what I love.
Well, you're very, very good at it. Okay, so I have a question. So you're here, you're physically here in InWorld. So your computer is working again.
Yeah, at last.
So okay, so I gotta ask because this, I you've advanced. I mean, seriously, think about it. Since you first started out with your junkyard, essentially, right? And you've gone through all these building phases and learning and getting better. And honestly, I know my daughter went to visited France, and she came back and she had all these facts about France. And one of them that stuck out in my head is she said, "Did you know that Paris has 72,000 square miles of scrolling artwork in its architecture?"
Paris is probably my favorite, most beautiful city in the world ever, because it's just breathtaking to visit Paris. Especially, well, I know Paris because I've been living there for a few years, for more than a
You
few years,
think?
yeah, when I was a kid. So I really love Paris with my guts. And yeah, it's an absolutely museum city. Absolutely museum city.
It's definitely on my list of places to go visit. Don't get me wrong. But so if you have your computer and you can actually build things again, have you thought about maybe doing some of like the event stuff and whatnot? Because EC's always looking for somebody to help do some building out of things. I'm just throwing it out there, and it's one of the things you love to do.
Wow, doing a bit of Paris, you mean me?
I think we could probably. I think if you talk to EC, I mean, realize when if you have a theme that you want to do and you just throw it to EC, well, they come up with the overarching theme, but if you want to throw something in there that sort of goes with what you want to do, why not? I mean, it's not like you're yeah, you should, because everybody knows you, everybody loves your stuff. You really should keep your name out there.
Dude, you could almost pull me out of my drawing table with such a proposal.
Oh, wait till I talk to EC. Okay, I got this covered. I got this covered. Oh yeah, you're in trouble, Mister. You are never gonna be rid of me. Anyways,
Cool.
You know, that would actually be really cool, Bensky. That would be like absolutely awesome. Which I'm hoping. I don't know if Farrader is out of the hospital yet or not. But if he is, I need to talk to him about his prim expressions so that I can get that on live stream. So, oh, that's right, she is. That would be. See, so EC's planning on X Factor for InWorld's 10. So there you go. There you go. Oh yeah, get those creative juices flowing. You got a while to wait, but you know, get them going now because I know how you are. Yeah, so you get to go wild and make people's jaws drop. Do whatever.
I would totally be thrilled to do bits of Paris out of mesh and stuff, you know. Ooh.
Yeah. So get your well, you have your thinking cap on. Now you know it's coming up.
Yeah, I'm starting, you know, my dandruffs are starting to popcorn.
Really? That's
Mm-hmm.
okay. So that keep them over there, please, because I don't want them over in my head. That's all I'm gonna say. So all right. So now that I put that bug in your ear, aren't I just horrible? I'm horrible. Go ahead, say it. I'm horrible. But next time something goes wrong with your computer, you should tell us because you know I remember when Farrader needed his new glasses, that was like $400, and you know this community helped him out. He actually managed to get his glasses. So we run charity runs when we need to. You just got to say something. I'm always more than happy when somebody's got a real life issue to always try and put something up there and help them out so that they can get what they need to go. I mean, our community is wonderful and giving, and if they know what it's for, they will help out. So don't let yourself go all stranger and invisible again. No.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't want to be a burden too much. I know I did good things there and here, but I'm always, you know, a little annoyed to annoy people.
You
So
don't annoy. You just swear a lot. As long as everybody knows that, they're good.
hey,
Yeah, Yadni swears a lot, just so you know.
I didn't swear at all here, you know.
You've been really good. Okay, you guys you have to understand. EC and I talk all the time, and one of our favorite things to do is to see who can do Yadni's French impression when he's swearing. No joke. One of our favorite things to do. It's like a contest. She's like, "Hey, you want to do a Yadni contest? Yeah, let's go for it." Yeah, that's kind of what we do.
Oh, you are so bad.
I know, but that's why you love me. So just deal with it, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
No, Bensky, I told him very succinctly that when he came on the show, he could not do any swearing, but he's hilarious. If you get him in private and on Skype where he's not being recorded, I just roll with laughter because it's just so great with his French accent. I just die laughing. Anyways, so and let's see here. So you know what you could do, Yad? Here's another idea. You should put some of your artwork for sale in the actual virtual world.
Huh. Yeah, I had not thought of that. Yeah.
I know that. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I mean, if people are interested to get a few of my little crazy things, why not?
Why not? Put it in their house and whatnot. I mean, you know, it's all reproducible. It's not like you have to keep making copies of it.
Yeah, well, in any case, if that happens, I'll probably put it on because I have one sim somewhere on the grid that's called Altia. That's where I have my building tutorial for prims. So I'll put them. I'll put a few things there with my statues.
I'll give you the link for that as well, Bensky, because that's InWorld sponsored. So I will send you that link for that, and we can put it in the video description. Okay, got it. See, I know what we have. I know. I just haven't been there forever.
And yeah, about YouTube. Yeah, so there's the channel, as you said, my YouTube channel, which is a channel where in fact, it's a very old channel that I have owned since 2008. So you have those very old videos about spore creatures. I know, right? Yeah, yeah. But hey, you can imagine that some of those creatures were looked at for several Ks, really, like, I don't know, maybe some are, I don't even remember. It's crazy. It's thousands of views for those little thingies. And now I totally put them down in the list. You can still access them, but my main focus is really on what I do with my hands on some paper. And as you said about Patreon, I just want to correct one thing. I'm not sure that you can pay with credit cards or whatever. I think in my mind, I'm almost sure it's only via PayPal. And the thing is, Patreon is like in the Renaissance, when you had an artist who needed patrons. He was, given funds to get more art supplies, and that's exactly what Patreon is for me. It's for me to grab uh, art supplies because they deplete, they get used, and eventually they die, and then you have to get some new ones. So that's exactly why and how, and yeah, how I use that Patreon thing. So yeah.
Just FYI, yes, you can use a card. Actually went and looked real quickly because I actually have a Patreon account for my streaming account. But anyways, totally different thing. But
Okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah, I can link a card, or I can, and you can use PayPal, either or.
All right, cool, cool, cool.
See, see,
Okay, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa.
yeah. Like, okay, French is not my language, Yad. How many times do I have to say this to you?
That
Except
was
for when you swear.
Latin. It was Latin. It
When-
means my mistake, my very
Mea
big mistake.
culpa, mea culpa,
Yeah.
mea culpa. There we go. So, anyways, yeah, Yadni's Learning Center is over on Althea. That's the name of the region right there. Um, so he calls it Althea, but it's Althea. So it's been there for like ever, ever. Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So and now you can update it. You can put your paintings in there. Do you want copies of your little minis? Do you need them, or do you still have them?
Oh no, they are there. You can see them somewhere on a shelf, just beside because in fact Altea is very crowded. There's a lot of different things there. There's my first sculpties when I learned sculpties, because I have been learning sculpties here in Wales, in Wales, because I wanted to reach a point where I could say I know sculpties, like kung fu, So that's exactly what I did. So
Judy, consider that your official request to put Althea to the Explorer HUD. There, see, that was easy.
oh yeah, sure. So you have my first sculpties, which are not for sale; they are just for looks. And then you have my first mesh, also my first crappy chair, my first character. My very first everything is there. So yeah, Altea is my workshop, and there's a part in the center of it that is my shop, where I sell sculptures mostly. And then there's also in the northeast, that's where I have the School for Primitives, which is based on Lumière Noire's Ivory Tower Library of Primitives in Second Life, but where I have tried to enhance each station with my own feel about primitives and my own knowledge about them, because primitives are really my very, very first 3D love, and I will never say anything bad about primitives, because those things, dude, they transformed
They're like
my
super
life.
advanced Legos, man. And Judy, I have there's the official request thingy, and yeah, since technically InWorld owns the region, so yeah, it is like a squatter. Yeah, it's a squatter. So yeah, just add it to the HUD, and then that way people know where it is. So seriously, so anyways, yeah, so if we'll get people over there, you can put those in there, your paintings, and you can get involved in the good. I have plans for you. That's just you see, you weren't going off into that lovely artist good night. No, no, not doing it. Just can't do it. Just can't do it. You're just gonna have to deal with. You're stuck with me.
All right, all right. Okay, I'll take it.
All right. So there, see, guys, that's we're gonna get Yad back in the grid doing his things, and we'll get his lovely learning center in place again. And yes, Yad knows that IDI is being replaced, although Jackson Square is not going away. It's actually on the grid. He knows that it already exists on the grid. Um, so IDI is gonna get a makeover and a facelift and all that. That should be coming out at the end of summer as well. So that'll be very, very cool. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. A bit of renewal can't
You
hurt.
got to do it, you know. Every few years, you got to shake up the apple trees, man, and you got to get all the dead growth off, and you got to put all the new stuff in, and it's just the way it is. So, and I love it when we actually decide that we're going to do these things. So now that we have, and I've put a lot of things, and the mentors have had their say, and everybody's had their say. It's been pretty awesome. So that should be out at the end of summer. And the Jackson Square that is there now will get retired, and it's got its own sim already, so that's not a big deal. It's just a matter of removing it. That's all. But Mont Saint Michel.
You are going to end with literally a Yadni museum here.
Well, we actually technically already have one. It's just that nobody knew it. I'm just saying. I mean, So then, and then we'll have the big contest that's going on, and for the April birthday bash that'll come up, and so you have almost a year for that when you think about it. And let's see what else. I think I kind of covered pretty much and Mont Saint Michel, which will be out on the event center, event sims, either tonight or tomorrow. And yeah, so see, that's how I get somebody back into InWorlds. I rock.
Wow. I'm trapped. I'm trapped.
Yeah, you're trapped in worlds. That's just the way it is. You're all mine, and nobody else can have you. I'm just that way. Sorry. But seriously, guys, if you get a chance, go wander around Jackson Square. You can see his lovely little paintings and pictures. And no, Judy, you will. I'm gonna put on the event sims for right now for the summer. Because most of them are empty, and I just have to load the ores up so that they can actually be put someplace. And then at the end of summer, I will move them over into the scenics. So you should be fine, and we'll figure it out. Bensky had a good suggestion for it. So before EC gets too crazy with the build, we'll move them. So they'll probably only be over there for like a month. It's just that it's right now. It's the empty space that I have right now that I know that I can just pop those ores up, and there they go. So everybody can go take a look, and then we'll move them accordingly. So you guys can fly around, boat around, do what you want, add it as a scenic little tour landmark thing, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah, and you are literally able to take the same tour as you would do in real life. So it's really, it's my love baby, the Mont Saint Michel.
Yes, he absolutely adores it, and that's why he gave it to InWorld. So it's definitely going to go up. So that way we have it, and everybody's happy, and there. So see, it'll be awesome. Okay, so it won't be exactly, Judy, because we don't have the bridge, but you guys can boat or you can fly or whatever. You can go visit.
Splendid. And I would not have any other grid with it. It's just, I mean, you and you and you and you.
Yay! Yay! Me. I like that. I love that. See, because we all rock, guys. That's the way that works. So Yadni has gifted this to us, and he's going to be gifting us with his lovely presents again. And we'll see what he can come up with for InWorlds 10. What do you think? Ooh, that could be fun. Fun. So yeah, all right. So we've gone almost an hour, which Bensky's probably going to beat me for, considering I didn't even have a co-host to even go for an hour, which is kind of surprising. Just goes to show that Yadni and I can babble. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm the common denominator. Who knows? Anyways, so I hope everybody enjoyed his little miniatures. I hope you're going to enjoy Mont Saint Michel. Again, we will put up the links as soon as I get the ors uploaded. We just have a little bit of a network issue with me getting to them today. So hopefully tonight or first thing tomorrow morning so that Bensky can cut those into the video. Go see it for sure. once you do that, be sure to stop and visit Althea, which has his learning center and all that. Um, and yeah, let's welcome him back into the fold. Say, yay, Yadni, Mr. Blinky Bright Blue Dude. Blinky Bright Blue.
Cool.
I actually call him my big blue man. That's just what I call him because he always reminds me of the Blue Man Group, except that he's better dressed. Just saying. So I hope everybody enjoyed the show. I don't know who I thought I knew who we were having for next month, but see, that's why Wolfie remembers all these things because I don't. But Wolfie will definitely be back for next month, and I think we're only going to lose him for December because Teal and him, if everything goes right, are going to be married on December 4th. Yay, Teal and Wolfie. So yay, congrats to them. If everything goes well, they have 6 months, so let's not jinx it on them. That would be very bad. You know, little people already are dinkies, tinies. You know, I never know the right term. They have enough luck issues, so let's not jinx them. So yeah, it was great to have you on the show today. Thank you ever so much. Now you can go watch the show about yourself.
It was really great to be here, and I'll be watching the show to see how it looks when it's on air, so to say. So yeah, and it's been a real pleasure to be here, and you have had my mind twisted with those ideas about Paris, and now I have to curl around the twist.
Yes, I know. That's what I do to you all the time. Whenever you do. This is why you don't talk to me because I come up with all these ideas and then you're like, oh, really, Ellie? Anyways.
Yeah. Go for it. Send them to me. Go for it.
So, all right. So, guys, I hope everybody has a wonderful, splendiferous day. Hopefully, I won't have a cold the next time we have the show next month. Because yeah, this really kind of sucks and I can hear it in my voice. Anyways, so we will see you all next month, and I'll have to figure out who is on our show for next month. But if you have anybody that you are nominating, I'm always up for nominations. Always up for nominations. Oh, by the way, if you guys don't know this, we have our own streaming channel. We're also going to have to link that in the video as well. And probably if I'm feeling up to it next week, which I should be totally over this thing by next week. Our first thing is probably going to be Judy's Planes. So we're going to be live streaming Judy's Planes and flying all over the place, and we're going to make a video out of it. And hopefully she won't take me anywhere that we crash. Hint, 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 Judy. Anyways. So that's going to be next, and we will get that done, and she'll be one of our first because she's got some pretty cool planes. You guys really should check them out, and they're really awesome. So we're going to go fly them around the grid, and I'm going to try not to barf because she threatened to make me barf, which is not fair to do to a founder. Anyways, yeah, we can do group flight. I'm good with that. So yeah. Guys, have a great time. Keep building, keep dreaming, keep doing all that fun stuff that you love to do. And if you know anybody that you want to be on the show, please let us know. Let Bensky, myself, Wolfie, anybody involved in the show, let them know, and we'll definitely take it under consideration. So everybody have a great day, and we will see you next month. Yay!
Like I like to say, there is no safe game in life. You only have one, and there's no turning back. So enjoy it or enjoy it.
Good motto. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.